Spider-Man never believed in magic, but today, his life depended on it. A strange device tore open a glowing portal, showing a world just like his own. Standing on the other side was himself, same mask, same voice, but eyes cold as ice. Before Peter could speak, a web shot sliced past his neck in warning. Who was he? A threat? A savior? Or a future Peter scarred by his own choices? Every second was slipping away, and the portal was closing fast. To survive, he had to learn the truth, even if the truth demanded someone's death. Spider-Man realized something terrifying: he might have to kill another version of himself. Peter Parker had never seen New York this quiet before. The sun was sinking behind the skyline, painting the sky in warm orange, but the streets below were tense with confusion. Police barricades circled around Oscorp Tower, where alarms had been ringing for the last 10 minutes. A thick vibration pulsed through the metal structure, and even from the rooftops Peter could feel it under his boots. He crouched at the edge of a rooftop and pulled his mask tighter. "Whatever you're hiding this time, Norman," he muttered, "it better not explode." He launched himself across 3 rooftops and swung straight through a shattered window of Oscorp's research division. On the inside, the air shimmered like heat above asphalt. Scientists were scrambling away from a central lab chamber sealed behind transparent alloy doors. The alarms were deafening. A giant machine stood inside the chamber, its rings rotating faster and faster around a glowing core. Dr. Olivia Warren, a senior physicist Peter recognized from past Oscorp projects, was trying to override the system from behind a control panel. Spider-Man landed beside her. "Let me guess," he said. "Somebody spilled their radioactive coffee on the open portal to doom button?" Warren didn't look amused. "This isn't a joke. We were testing quantum stabilization. Something forced the machine to activate on its own." "Something? Like an evil something or a stupid something?" She snapped, "A signal. From outside our universe." Peter's quip died in his throat. The machine's core expanded like a lung inhaling light, pulsing harder and harder until it looked like it might burst. The spinning rings howled, rattling the entire building. A hairline tear ripped across the center of the core, not down the middle, but through space itself. The tear widened, splitting like cracked glass, revealing a swirling storm of shifting colors, streaks of blue and violet bending like broken reflections. It wasn't light. It was another world. Spider-Man stepped closer to the chamber glass, staring as the tear stabilized into a circular portal. Through it, he could see a skyline, New York, but darker, its buildings scorched, lights flickering like dying fireflies. Thunder rolled silently behind the barrier. A solitary figure swung through that storm, moving with Spider-Man's exact agility. Same suit. Same stance. Same everything. Peter's jaw clenched. What the hell? The portal suddenly surged outward, and the glass wall between him and the machine cracked. Warren gasped. "It's expanding. If it breaks through, it might merge our world with..." She didn't finish. The portal shot a whip of violet energy toward Spider-Man. He dodged instinctively, but the energy coiled and yanked him forward like a magnetic pull. The chamber doors burst open with a violent blast. He scraped the floor trying to resist, webbing his left hand to a metal railing. "Hey! I thought I said no exploding today." The pull strengthened. His webbing snapped. The world stretched, his body flying forward, dragged toward the swirling tier of impossible colors. Spider-Man heard Dr. Warren scream his name, but her voice warped into static as the light swallowed everything around him. He felt weightless, neither falling nor floating, as if gravity itself forgot its job. The portal's storm swallowed his sight, and for a split second he saw something else inside it, a reflection that shouldn't exist. His own masked face staring back at him, but with eyes that were colder, emptier, older. Before Peter could breathe, the storm spat him out. He slammed down on solid ground. New York's skyline looked familiar. But something was wrong. Very, very wrong. Peter stumbled to his feet, his vision shaking like a broken camera lens. It was New York, the same skyline, same towers, same streets, but everything looked bruised. Smoke curled from crumbling rooftops. Traffic lights flickered weakly, running on dying electricity. The city felt sick. He steadied himself. Okay, not the vacation spot I'd have picked. A crash echoed across the street. Spider-Man twisted sharply, instincts awake. A figure dropped from a broken billboard, landing in a crouch. The weight of the impact cracked the pavement. He rose slowly. Same suit. Same symbol. Same height. Even the same posture, but something was off. His mask's eyepieces were slightly cracked, edges tinged with black, like dried tar. And his suit, it pulsed, as if something under it crawled. Spider-Man raised both hands, palms outward. Look, I'm a big believer in me, myself, and I, but I usually prefer one of me at a time. The other Spider-Man didn't respond. His head tilted slightly, slow and stiff, like a marionette taking orders. Then, without a single word, he fired a web straight at Peter's throat. Peter barely ducked. Wow! Not even a hello? The attack didn't stop. The other Spider-Man launched himself forward, striking with vicious precision. These weren't just attacks, they were executions. He fought like someone who'd died and gotten back up angrier. Peter blocked a kick, swung backward, and countered with a web shot. The stranger cut through it with a swipe, his hand slicing the web like a blade. What are you made of? Cheating? The stranger spoke at last. His voice rasped through a broken filter. You don't understand. Oh great, a cryptic version of me. Must be from the brooding dimension. Another strike came. Peter flipped over him and landed atop a street lamp. The ground below trembled as the double Spider-Man smashed his fist down. Hey! I'm not your enemy. Peter shouted. I'm just trying to. Your world, the stranger growled, is going to die. Peter froze. The words weren't a threat, they were resignation. Like someone delivering a eulogy. I'm listening, Peter said softly. The stranger lifted his cracked mask slightly. Beneath it, Peter glimpsed something horrifying crawling across his jaw, black, vein-like matter embedded into his skin, twitching like it was alive. In my world. I saved something. A symbiote. I thought I was helping it. I thought I was being a hero. His voice shook with controlled rage. I bonded with it. We became one. Stronger. Smarter. Faster. Until it learned everything about me. Everything I loved. Everything I feared. Peter stepped down, heart pounding. So it took control? The mask lowered again. It didn't need to. It convinced me. It whispered. It reasoned. It offered solutions no human could reject. And I became the reason my world fell apart. It wasn't the symbiote that destroyed everything. He pointed directly at Peter. It was me. The wind cut between them like a blade. Peter's throat tightened. So you came here to stop the symbiote? To warn me? No, the stranger's tone hardened. I came here to stop you. His stance shifted. Aggressive again. Deadly. If you make the same choice I did, he continued, you will doom your world just like I did mine. I'm here because your death might be the only way to save millions. Peter's eyes widened behind his mask. So you're here to kill me? No, he answered. He charged forward, faster than before. I'm here to make sure you never get the chance to kill everyone else. The other Spider-Man moved like a bullet, closing the distance before Peter's next breath. Peter barely rolled out of the way as a fist shattered a nearby car door like glass. The stranger didn't fight like someone trying to subdue an enemy, he fought like someone determined to end a war. Peter webbed a broken lamppost, swung it like a bat, and slammed it toward the attacker. It connected. Sparks flew. But the double barely flinched. Instead, something beneath the suit rippled, absorbing the impact like a second skin. "Okay," Peter gasped, backing up. "That's not normal superhero spandex." The stranger ripped the lamppost in half and hurled the pieces aside. His breathing rattled behind the cracked mask, like something else breathed with him. "You still don't get it," he muttered. "Then explain it." "I'm all ears." "And webs." The double didn't speak. Instead, he grabbed his mask and peeled it back just enough. It didn't slide like fabric, it peeled like flesh. Beneath it, a dark webbing was fused to his skin. Not just wearing him, infesting him. Peter recoiled. "You let it bond permanently." "It didn't give me a choice," the stranger said. "Once it learns your mind, the bond becomes irreversible." He clenched his fists. "It becomes you." Suddenly, he stopped attacking. The fury in his movement settled into something colder, steadier. He stood taller, more human, but far more broken. "I tried to fix things," he continued. "When the symbiote told me it could stop crimes before they happened, I trusted it. When it showed me how to save people without risking casualties, I believed it. When it told me the worst villains didn't deserve to breathe." He swallowed the rest, jaw tightening. "You killed them," Peter whispered. "I saved lives," the double corrected. "But then it wasn't just criminals. It was threats. Possibilities. People who might do something someday. It calculated risks better than me. I just followed orders." Peter shook his head. "You became the threat." The stranger's silence was the answer. "And your world, what happened to it?" The double's eyes hardened. "Everyone turned against me. The Avengers. The X-Men. The police. My own friends. They saw the symbiote as the enemy. They hunted me like a monster." He pointed at the ruined city around them. "But they were too late. The wars, the weapons, the fear, they destroyed everything trying to stop me. Trying to stop us." He stepped closer. "I wasn't the villain. I was the spark." Peter's chest tightened. "You came here to change things. To make sure I don't repeat it." "No," the double said calmly. "I came here because you already will." Peter's heart hammered. "What are you talking about? I don't even have a symbiote." "Not yet," the stranger smirked. "Your world is days away from encountering one. And you're going to make the same mistake I did. You're going to try to save it. You're going to think it's a life, not a parasite. And by the time you understand the truth..." He stepped into a fighting stance. "You'll already be bonded." Peter's voice cracked with frustration. "There has to be another way." "There isn't," the stranger replied, voice heavy with finality. "The only cure is prevention." "You want to prevent my future," Peter realized. "By killing me." The other Spider-Man nodded slowly. "No malice. No rage. Only grim purpose. It's mercy." Peter's grip tightened. "Sorry, but I'm allergic to mercy murders." Before the stranger could respond, Peter fired a web straight into his cracked mask and yanked him forward, smashing him into a building wall. Bricks exploded. Dust filled the air. "No one decides my destiny," Peter growled, leaping back into combat stance. "Not even me." The impact shook the building like an earthquake. Brick rubble collapsed around the double Spider-Man, half burying him. Peter breathed hard through his mask, trying to steady the fear coiling inside him like a living thing. He didn't want to fight. But the other Spider-Man didn't want to fight either, he wanted an ending. A low rumble echoed from the rubble. Black tendrils slithered out, dripping like tar mixed with oil, and suddenly the stranger burst free, dragging the symbiote-fused skin back over his mask. He landed with a thud that vibrated through the asphalt. "You think you can change fate with a punch?" he asked. Peter swallowed. "I've done it with worse." The stranger lunged. It wasn't like fighting a villain. It was like fighting instinct, his own instincts twisted into weapons. Where Peter would dodge, this version anticipated and punished the dodge. Where Peter feinted, this one counter-feinted. They weren't just matching moves, they were mirroring possibilities. Every attack felt like attacking a future version of himself. Peter fired webs rapid fire, using a ricochet pattern to overwhelm him. The double didn't dodge. Everything, every single strand, stuck to the tendrils as if eagerly consumed. The webs melted into the black growth, sizzling like acid. "Your tricks won't work anymore," the stranger growled, closing in. Peter grabbed a fire hydrant and ripped it open with a web pull. Pressurized water exploded outward. He swung the stream toward the stranger. The blast hit, and the symbiote howled, shrinking back violently. Peter smirked. "Looks like somebody forgot bath day." The double screamed, not in pain, but in rage, and charged straight through the water, enduring it, shredding the hydrant from Peter's hands. His fist slammed into Peter's stomach. It felt like being hit by a truck dipped in knives. Peter flew through the air, bounced off a taxi, and skidded across the asphalt. "You think you're different from me," the stranger said, walking toward him. "You think you'll never make my mistakes." "That's what I thought." Peter coughed, pushing up to his knees. "No. I think I'll learn from them." "No," the stranger said. "You'll justify them." He grabbed Peter by the throat and lifted him easily. The mask's white-eye lenses were inches from Peter's, cracked like frost over glass. "You'll say it's your responsibility. You'll say it's the only way. You'll say it's for the people you love. And little by little, you'll believe it. Until you become." Peter slammed both feet into the stranger's chest with a desperate kick. The grip loosened. He spun a web around a nearby billboard, pulled it down, and smashed it onto the stranger. "Maybe," Peter shouted. "But not today." The stranger threw the billboard off like it weighed nothing. His voice fractured with sorrow more than anger. "You can't fight destiny forever." Peter breathed hard. "I don't need forever. I just need today." The symbiote crackled across the stranger's body. He lowered his head slightly. "Then today, you die." The ground cracked beneath him as he sprang forward with lethal force. Peter braced, but in that moment, something changed. He saw the fight differently. Not attack versus attack, but intention versus intention. The stranger wasn't trying to win. He was trying to stop himself. Not an enemy. A desperate warning wearing his face. Peter whispered, "You don't want to kill me. You want someone to stop you." The stranger's punch slowed, a single hesitation. That heartbeat of doubt was all Peter needed. He caught the arm, pivoted, and used the man's own momentum to drive him into a collapsing building support beam. The symbiote let out a screech, sparks of pain surging through the double's body. For the first time, Peter saw fear in the other Spider-Man's eyes, fear not for himself, but for Peter. "You have to kill me now," the double rasped. "Before it takes control. Before it decides you matter more alive than dead." Peter stared, horrified. "What happens then?" The stranger whispered, "Then I won't be able to stop myself again." His voice cracked, human beneath the monster. "Not even for you." For a moment, neither of them moved. The double Spider-Man hung weakly in Peter's grip, pinned against the cracked support beam. The tar-like veins pulsed along his suit in frantic spasms, fighting to regain control. The symbiote wanted to live, even if its host didn't. Peter's heart trembled. This wasn't a monster. This was him. A version of him who had tried everything, who had failed everything. "I don't kill," Peter whispered. "Not even me." The double's eyes, those cracked, glass-like eyepieces, narrowed painfully. "It's not killing," he said. "It's preventing." "If I kill you, I become you," Peter replied. The stranger shook his head, slowly at first, then violently as the symbiote fought his control. "No. If you don't," his voice twisted into a guttural snarl. You doom your world. The symbiote surged. Tendrils spidered across his mask, his arms snapping free. The creature roared through his voice. We survive. Peter leaped back as the double lunged again, no strategy now, no morality, no hesitation. The creature was taking over fully. You don't want this. Peter yelled. His double screamed back, but Peter recognized the human voice underneath, terrified, pleading, begging for someone stronger to end it. Peter's mind raced. I won't kill him. But I have to stop him. He grabbed onto crumbling metal wiring and hurled himself upward, shooting a webline that snagged exposed power cables dangling from a broken transformer above them. Electricity sparked violently. Peter knew what symbiotes feared. And he knew what it would cost. Don't hate me for this, he whispered. And he yanked the cables down. A flood of electric fire surged through the air, exploding across the double Spider-Man's body. He convulsed, the symbiote shrieking in agony. Black matter splintered off like burning tar, curling into smoke. His body collapsed under the force, hitting the ground hard as electricity lit the air with blinding sparks. When the light finally died, there was silence. The other Spider-Man lay still, the symbiote charred off his body, leaving only a damaged suit and a broken man underneath. Peter knelt beside him, hands shaking as he checked his breathing. Weak. Painful. But alive. You're safe, Peter said softly. The stranger coughed bitterly. No one's safe. Peter held him gently, the way he would save any victim. The broken version of himself turned his head slightly. You'll find it, he whispered, voice fading like dying embers. The symbiote, it calls itself Venom. Don't let it speak to you. Don't bargain. Don't empathize. Peter nodded, tears burning behind his mask. I won't make your mistake. The stranger's breathing slowed, eyes dulling. You will, if you try to save it. Peter's grip tightened around his hand. I'll save everyone, including it. The double gave one final, broken laugh. That's how it starts. His eyes closed. Not dead. But unreachable. Exhausted beyond consciousness. A prisoner of what he had become. The ground rumbled. The portal behind Peter, still flickering faintly, began collapsing in on itself, crackling with unstable energy. If he stayed, he'd be trapped in this ruined world forever. Peter looked back one last time at the ruined skyline, at the quiet victim who wore his face. I'll be better, he vowed. For both of us. He shot a webline into the collapsing portal and pulled himself through as it imploded. Back in his world. Peter crashed onto a lab floor in his New York. Dr. Warren screamed, running to him. Scientists scrambled. The portal closed with a sharp flash of violet light, gone forever. Spider-Man groaned, pulling himself up. You okay? Warren cried. He stared at her, images burned into his mind, scorched cities, the broken Spider-Man, the fear in his own future voice. I don't know, he whispered. The alarm shut off. Oscorp fell silent. Deep in the machine's remains, hidden from every eye but one, a small black drop of living matter pulsed quietly in the shadows. It had crossed over. It was watching. It was waiting.